All right, booze, you shouldn't feel a thing. Hold on. Hey guys, welcome back to Kiki Cuisine. I'm Joey Camasta. Today we're making martinis. I'm making a San Marzano tomato martini. I know it sounds wild, but it is delicious. I thought of this in a fever dream one night. I just love the taste of fresh summer tomatoes. They're sweet, they're juicy, they're floral. They're just everything you ever want, and they're popping off. The produce section is popping off. I went to the farmer's market, and I got all these yummy tomatoes. I got these mini San Marzano tomatoes, but I think I got bamboozled. They said they're from San Marzano, but I know for a fact that San Marzano is under a bridge somewhere, and they don't make tomatoes like this. But they look like mini San Marzano tomatoes. Very cute. So I got these cherry tomatoes, but no matter what tomatoes you have, they'll work for this martini. Just get the juiciest, reddest, or brightest colored ones, and then you're sure to get a juicy, flavorful martini. We're also gonna add a little olive oil to it. Very trendy here in the coastal towns. Everyone's doing a little olive oil in their martinis. It kind of gives a nice little flavor, and it has a play on the olives and martinis naturally, so it kind of goes together. And a little bit of salt too. So it sounds like a wild mix of ingredients, but it's actually very delicious. And the color we're gonna get is so beautiful. I got my Queens and Lace martini glasses I got from a little boutique upstate. So all you're gonna need is some gin or vodka, your lady's choice, some dry vermouth, some good quality olive oil. You don't want to use something you're gonna fry with. This is a finishing oil from Graza. This is very, very spicy and kind of bold. You want something a little bit more rich and deep. So a very, very good olive oil that you would drizzle. And that's it. So we're gonna get started. All you need is your shaker, like this, and we're gonna put our tomatoes in. We're gonna muddle these up, and that is how we're gonna get our juicy tomato flavor. You could also use tomato juice if you had it, but it's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be fresh and yummy. This is about summer produce, using what we have, what the Lord gave us, and then you know, going out there and getting a bounty from the garden. Put your tomatoes in like that, and then you get a muddler, and then you just go into it, girl. I hope I don't squirt it. Oh wait, ooh, she's a squirter. You do need salt, I forgot. Add a little bit of salt here. That's gonna help break it up and let everyone release their juices. If you have tomatoes in your house, you know they grow like weeds, and there's so much. At the end of the season, you have nothing to do with them because you're like, oh my God, I've been eating so many tomatoes. You start giving them away. So this is perfect for the end of summer as well. When you have to get rid of those tomatoes, you can just start smashing them up in here. Hide them wherever you can, girl. It sounds disgusting. Imagine like, Mom, what are you doing in there? Let's add our vodka. Now measure with your heart. A little bit of dry vermouth, just a splash. It's customary, and it kind of balances the cocktail out. Everyone says no vermouth. Grow up. It's delicious and it goes perfect. And then we are going to add some ice. There we go. Now it's time to shake, shake, shake. I just want to shake it. Really get your arms in there, girl. Whew. Okay, we're doing a double strain here because there's seeds and there's skin in there. We don't want that in a martini. We want a smooth blush color, a corally blush color. Ooh. And look at that froth we got from all those tomatoes and that sweetness in there. How beautiful do these look? These are hot. Oh my God, that color is insane, you guys. That's Mother Nature. No artificial sweeteners or colors in here, bitch. Now it's time to garnish. I just simply took one of the cherry tomatoes and pierced it with a cocktail pick here. And we're just gonna lay that right on top like that. And your guests are gonna be like, bitch, work, mama. You can serve this with Italian food. It's an Italian cake because there's San Marzano tomato. Anything summery. Tomatoes are the fruit of the summer. And, oh wait, shit. We forgot the olive oil. We have to garnish with olive oil. A couple drizzles. Just a couple dashes like that. And it's gonna add a luscious mouthfeel. It's gonna give a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of spiciness to your martini, and it just balances everything out. And plus, it just looks cool and expensive. So your guests will be like, damn. And it'll probably help you go to the bathroom if I have to write something down. I mean, eventually drinking oil, it just sounds like your asshole's gonna leak from these, but you know what, girl? Live and learn. All right, let's give it a taste. Oh my God. I'm telling you now, this is a martini this summer. It tastes like a fruity cocktail. Tomato is actually a fruit, if you didn't know that. It has a nice salty bite to it, a little bit of spicy from the olive oil. It is not too strong. It's so well balanced. You get that froth on there. It's floral. It's just like, literally, it tastes like this would cost $65 in a restaurant in Paris. It is impeccable. I'm so happy you made these. Now, if you're making these this summer, make sure you say that you learned them here on Kiki Cuisine. This is my recipe. A lot of people are gonna be stealing this recipe from now on. I just know you're gonna see it all over the internet. Now, Nana's been a trendsetter for many moons. So you're gonna start seeing these popping up all over the TikTok, all over in restaurants and on cocktail menus. I just know that I invented it here on Kiki Cuisine, and you're welcome. Okay, our martinis are a hit. Now it's time to eat. I'm gonna make mini lobster rolls today. So lobster rolls are super simple, but they pack a big punch. And all you're gonna need for this is your steamed lobster meat here. You're gonna need some celery that's already chopped up, some tarragon, some lemons, some mayonnaise, and some Boston Bib lettuce as well. And of course, your New England style lobster roll buns. And that's it. Time to assemble our lobster salad. You wanna put your lobster in the bowl here. This is about 2 pounds, and this will make enough to feed like at least, I don't know, 24 people, maybe 24 rolls we can yield from this. I'm assuming, because we're cutting them in half. We're gonna add some celery. Use as much as you like. I love celery in this because it gives that fresh, healthy crunch. So I'm adding a bunch. You know, measure with your heart. I'm adding some fresh chopped tarragon. Tarragon is very traditional when using lobster, especially in salads like this. It has a licoricey kind of flavor to it, also kind of like basil-y and fresh. It's just delicious. It goes perfect with the lobster. If you don't like tarragon or can't find it, basil will work just fine in this. And this just kind of gives it an interesting, Kiki kind of flavor. Some lemon zest. This, because I'm gonna add the juice of the lemon. Anytime you're juicing a lemon, you always wanna add a zest too, because it's free flavor. You get that in there anyway. So just a little zest of lemon, and that gives a fresh, bright flavor to it. Now we're gonna add some lemon juice as well, the juice of the lemon. This is gonna give that bright, yummy flavor. You got some good quality mayonnaise. Don't use diet mayonnaise here, you're gonna ruin the whole dish. I learned that, I made a mistake doing that once and it was disgusting. So use full fat here, girls, because you know what? Summer's almost over. Or maybe it's just beginning, I don't care, I don't count calories. And now a little salt. You can always season later, and the lobster naturally has salt in it, so you don't wanna put too much salt, but you know, just a couple pinches. And a little cracked black pepper. And that's it, super simple. When you have good quality lobster, you don't wanna add too much shit in there because it just kind of drowns it out and you're ruining it. So now you just gently fold this. You don't wanna break the meat up too much because the whole thing about when you get a lobster roll is like, the bigger the chunks of lobster, the more quality you know you're getting. So I always just gently toss it. Break it apart a little bit if it's like a huge chunk, but that's what makes it decadent. If you see these big, luscious chunks of lobster, it's like, shit, she's got money to spend in here, bitch. Okay, this looks delicious. And it's all come together so beautifully. I wanna put this in the fridge for at least like a half hour, just kind of tighten up and trying to chill. And you can even make this the day before. The longer this sits, the better it gets. So do this ahead of time. If you don't have it ahead of time, just put it in the fridge for a half hour at least to kind of chill down and let everything kind of stick together and get to know each other. So I'm gonna pop this in the fridge for about a half hour while we toast our buns, and we'll be right back.
45 right back.
And a wine and a whiskey. Okay, ready? It's like we've been ready, queer. Okay, now it's time to toast our buns. Now, this is what makes the lobster roll, these traditional New England style buns. Regular hot dog buns you can use, but you know, people will make fun of you behind your back. This is where the ones here, there are brioche in New England buns, but the sides are cut off and they're top split. That's how they're traditionally done, and that's what, I'm a traditionalist. I have been first and foremost. So I've got these buns. If you can find these, definitely use these. If not, hot dog buns will work, or any kind of mini kind of buns you have. You can even do like little tiny slider buns. So I'm gonna toast them on either side. That's where that whole open side is. You wanna toast it, get it nice and buttery, get all that juicy butter sucked up in there. Look how toasty and yummy these are. Then you're gonna be sweet. Then you wanna put them on a wire-lined rack because you don't want them to steam and get all soft and soggy. You want them to crisp up, so a little airflow under there as well. She's sizzling today. She's hungry for that lobster, girl. If you have a grill, you can definitely put slab these with butter, some softened butter, and put them on the grill as well. So kind of a grilled lobster roll. That'd be delicious as well. But you know, we live in the concrete jungle, so we don't have such luxuries. This is clean. Okay, our hot butter buns are fresh off the pan, and our lobster salad's been chilling. And we're gonna get that out and assemble our lobster rolls. Okay, this has a nice chill on it now. You can see that everything kind of tightened up and got to know each other. And it's gonna make our lobster rolls so much more decadent. This smells so good. The tarragon, the lemon are coming through, so it's fresh. It's kind of herbaceous, but you can definitely smell the ocean from the seafood, this fresh lobster. It's gonna be so decadent. This is the most decadent thing you can serve in the summertime. Lobster rolls, an ice cold cocktail, a cold beer, some good friends at a coastal town. It's just like, it's everything summer on a hot dog bun. I said it. take one of our buns here, spread them open. They're still warm and toasty. I'm taking some Boston lettuce or butter lettuce or bib lettuce, whatever you have, the fancy lettuce you can find. Snap the back off and just put it in. And that not only is gonna make it look delicious and pretty, but it's also gonna prevent the dressing from soaking into the bun and making it soggy and falling apart. It's all about the details here because it's such simple things and simple ingredients. You wanna make sure every detail is taken care of to make it the most decadent thing you can have. All right, so our lettuce is lined, and now we're gonna start assembling, adding our lobster meat. I try to divvy it up equally. As much any claws, knuckles, so everyone gets a little something in there. Look how beautiful that is. This toasty, buttery bun, the fresh, crisp lettuce, the decadent, sweet lobster meat, the fresh crunch from the celery, and the tang from the dressing. I'm gonna line my tray in parchment because it just looks summery and looks very like fresh from the fish market. And it's so easy and cheap to make it look cute. You can also use gingham if you have that paper that they serve like the hot dog buns in, those red and white checker things. That can be cute too, but I didn't have any on hand. We're gonna tighten these up. Now you can definitely serve this as is, but I'm having a lot of guests and I'm serving other food, so I wanna just cut it in half so everyone gets a little bit. How pretty! Oh my God. Let's keep building these. I wonder if I bought this Boston lobster roll to Boston and tried to like sell it as I worked, like pretend I live there. I'd be like, how y'all doing? Oh, that's not Boston. Hey y'all, come on, I can't do it. I'm trying to do a Boston accent. Yeah, come down here to the Harvard Yard. Oh no, I'm gonna talk like that girl Michaela. That's how she does it. Nice and full. Here you go. That's my Boston accent. I just think they're hillbillies. Do you think Dave wants me to come to his house and make real, authentic lobster rolls in the Nantucket Ranch? I'm not even kidding you guys. These look so good. I know, I'm very humble, but I'm blown away. This looks so fucking good. I mean, these are packed. We're not being skimpy here. These are packed full lobster rolls. I'm gonna garnish my platter with some lemon wedges, maybe a little bit more chopped celery, just on the top to finish for a little more crunch on some of them. And there you have it. My mini lobster rolls and toasted brioche buns. Perfect for summer, perfect for your Kiki, and it's delicious, it's simple to make. I'm not gonna say it's affordable, but it's a lot of ingredients, it's not a lot of work. Oh my God. You guys. I can't believe I made that. The lemon and the tarragon in there are taking it to a whole new level. It's just subtle enough to make it say, like, oh, what is that, honey? It's a perfect amount of dressing on it, just a little zing from the lemon. The lobster is sweet like candy. And the buttered bun is just so nutty and just delicious. This is the perfect bite of food. Step your pussy up, girl, and get some lobster rolls in your next Kiki barbecue because everyone's gonna love it. You're gonna be the belle of the ball, and these are something that no one's gonna forget. The bad thing about them is they're gonna want to make them, you're gonna have to make these every time people come over again because they're gonna be asking for them. And better than any restaurant I've ever had. New England ain't got shit on me. Okay guys, we have our tomato martini and our lobster rolls. First of all, you know I'm on theme, girl, but look at the colors we have here. We're already doing my signature colors today. Kiki Coral is the color of the party, and this matches perfect. The tomato-ness of this, the fresh lightness of this goes perfect with the lobster roll. They match in color, and they're perfect. But now I need something a little bit decadent, a little bit crispy, something a little bit naughty. I'm making my second favorite seafood thing for the summertime. It's fried calamari. It is a staple on every Italian restaurant menu. It's a staple on every summertime coastal town. Everyone has it. It is crisp, it's fresh, it's easy, delicious. And I'm gonna pair it with a special Calabrian chili aioli, which is something a little different than the traditional tomato sauce, but it's gonna kind of keep up the Kiki coastalness of our party today. And it is so easy to do, and it's fresh, crisp, crunchy, and so delicious. So stick around for my fried calamari. So we have a few different elements happening here, but I'm gonna go one by one. For the actual calamari that we're gonna be frying, all you're gonna need is your calamari, tubes and canticles, and your hot cherry peppers that are chopped up. For the breading, we're going to need some all-purpose flour, some cornstarch, and some baking powder. For the dredge, we're gonna need just some buttermilk. That's what we're gonna marinate our calamari in to get nice and soft. And then for the Calabrian chili aioli, what you're gonna need is mayonnaise, some capers, some crushed Calabrian chili peppers, and some garlic cloves. Okay, so first we have to soak our calamari in buttermilk. I think we do that for a few hours. That's gonna tenderize them. It's the acid from the Buttermilk is gonna give a nice tang to your calamari, and it just kind of softens the calamari. A lot of times calamari can be tough and rubbery. It can be like a rubber band or like a scrunchie. We don't want that here. We want tender, luscious, crispy calamari. So let's do that first. Let's cut up our calamari and get it in the bowl with some buttermilk. Now when you get the calamari, they're gonna be pre-cleaned like this. You get these at any store. They come frozen sometimes. These ones are fresh, and this is the tube. It's kind of like the condom of the sea. Ariel probably used this as a rubber, like on prom night, instead of just like a regular tradition, because you know pollution in the sea is rising, and we're not going to be attest to that on this program. So take your sea condom, and you can cut them up on the cutting board like this, and depending on what kind of rings you like. So that's one way of doing it. Also, I've done this before. Sometimes if because it gets stick together with a knife, if you don't cut it all the way through, you can just take a scissor, a kitchen shear, and just pop it in like this. This is the preferred way for me sometimes because it's just quicker. But you want to keep your rings the same size because you're going to fry them. You want them to cook all at the same time. So just keep in mind that's the only thing you have to worry about is making sure that they're all similar enough in size, and then everything will cook similar in time. And you don't have to get some burnt bits and some chewy bits. Okay, so we have all our rings in here now, and now we're going to put them in their tenderization brine, which you're going to add a little salt. Not too much because, again, seafood's already salty naturally. And then some buttermilk. Right on top of that. You can use any milk here, but I use buttermilk because it's thicker than regular milk and it's gonna help the flour stick later when it's on there. So I always use a little bit of buttermilk. You cover it and put it in the fridge. Now I did mine last night, so I have them already marinated so they're extra tender, but you wanna do this in the fridge for at least a few hours in the buttermilk to kind of break down the proteins and make sure it's nice and tender so you're not getting rubbery calamari. And again, the more prep work you do with it, the better product you're gonna get with it. So put a little time in beforehand and then you're gonna get a better product at the end of it. Okay, I'm gonna swap this out for the one that's in the fridge. Ooh, they look good. As far as tools, what you're gonna need for this, you'd have to get a spider. This is the #1 tool for making this. If you don't have this, it's gonna be very hard to make it like simple and easy because it is the best tool for the job. So try to get a spider. You can get these on Amazon or anywhere in any store. And this is gonna help you transfer everything, make sure everything's sticking together, not sticking together, everything's fluffy and crispy, and this will be your best friend, I'm telling you now, girl. We're heating our oil now. I wanna make sure it's around 350. Okay, that's too hot. So we're gonna lower it. We're gonna take some all-purpose flour. Now I'm sure there's a recipe for this, like on how much to do, but it just depends on how much calamari you have and how much breading you need. So I'm gonna wing it. Okay, and if it fucks up, we live and we learn. I don't like to measure in anything in life. I go until I can't take no more. Okay, I learned that from a very young age, and I still think of Father John to this day. Now we're gonna take. I don't know. I watched all these videos, and some people do more of this, some less of this. I don't know what's happening, but cornstarch is gonna make it crispy. I know that, and make it not stick together. So I'm gonna put like 2 kilos of that in. Like this much. And then baking powder, I don't know what this is for, but it said to use this. I think this is probably for like, to make it cook. I don't know, to like make it like bake or make it like bread on the outside. Just do a little of that. A lot of people just use flour, so I'm just happy I'm doing the extra steps. So you can also add other seasoning into it if you want to add a flavor to it. Like you can add like Old Bay to this if you're trying to make it like, coastal, but I'm trying to keep this more like traditional Italian with my Calabrian chilies and all those other things. So, okay, our dry dredge is looking good. Now I'm gonna add my cherry peppers to our calamari because I want them to all get coated in that nice batter. All right, booze, you shouldn't feel a thing. Hold on. Okay, stir these up, and then you kind of have to strain. You don't want to get too much wetness in here. You want it to be just wet enough, and that's where the spider comes into hand. A lot of people like to use this. Watch. Put the wet in the dry, and then you kind of like lightly dust them around. And I put it on a wire rack to get ready to be fried. Everything's stuck beautifully. It's not overly floured. It's got a nice crispy texture to it, and it's gonna fry up hopefully beautifully. Okay, last batch of this. And then, you do this in batches, then you kind of keep it nice and crispy and serve it as you go. Do you know what I mean? Don't do it all at once if people are gonna wait to eat it later. You wanna serve this right away so it's nice, hot, and crispy. This can't sit around. Okay, our oil is heated to 350. Our calamari and our hot peppers are dredged and floured and ready to be fried. So let's get them into the fryer in batches and away we go. Be careful when you put them in though. You don't wanna go up too high because it'll splash up on you. And then this is where your spider comes in handy. Just kind of move them around. And these only take a couple seconds to cook, so you kind of watch them. As soon as you see you get that golden brown color, that's when you know they're done. And I have a wire-lined rack here that I'm gonna let them land on because I want them to drain all the fat, all the oil off and stay crispy. That's a theme here. We don't like to make things soggy. So these are, now I'm looking, they're probably about 1 minute, roughly about 1 minute. So kind of make sure you stand over these. You can't you can't drop them and then leave. You have to kind of stay and watch them. And they're gonna keep frying on the tray afterwards because the heat carries over. So hold them before they're too dark. Get our next batch in. You can even put them in the here and then lower them in like this so you're not gonna hurt your hand with it. That's a good way to do it too. Yeah. So if you're gonna do this recipe, make sure you have the spider, otherwise you're gonna be all fucked. Come on down to the fish fry. Put them on your wire mark tray like this, and then you wanna salt them right away. You wanna get, and when it's hot, when it's hot, you gotta salt it, otherwise it won't stick. Oh. It smells so good in here. Fresh calamari has just been fried. We have with our hot Calamari and chili peppers. Everything's golden brown, crispy, salted, and ready for consumption. But I have to make a Kiki sauce to go with it. Traditionally, everyone uses marinara sauce, which I love. Don't get me wrong, I love the marinara sauce. But I want to do a new play on this today because we're doing kind of coastal summertime vibes. So I want to make like an aioli. An aioli is just a fancy schmancy name for some fancy mayonnaise. That's all it is. You can make your own with egg yolks, but I'm going to do my pre-made mayonnaise that we made the other day. Depending on how much you need, we don't need a lot, so I'm only doing like 2 heaping tablespoons. Handful of capers. And capers, if you've never tried these, kind of like olives. They're hard to explain. They're very delicious though. If you don't like capers, just leave them out, but this gives a nice touch to it. Now the Calamari and chili paste. If you don't like spice, then leave it out, but it definitely makes the dish. It's just a little, you can add a little bit if you like a little spice. If you like a lot, add a lot. I'm gonna do about the same amount, about a tablespoon. Then we're gonna zest our citrus. I'm using my orange here. It's a lemon and orange mixed together. And just get the zest from that in there. It's probably GMO. It's probably genetically modified in a bad neighborhood, but I don't care, girl. It's Kiki, and my guests are gonna be impressed. You know what? We're all gonna die one day anyway. Hate to break it to you, girl. Might as well go out with a orange in your pocket. How exciting! I'm gonna cut it open. But this is gonna give the most delicious. And if you are, don't have the luxury of having oranges in your house, I guess you can use a lemon and an orange separately, but I would never. I could never. Okay, the orange zest is in there. We're gonna grate a clove of garlic, because that's kind of what aiolis have in there. Again, this tool, so this thing you need a spider and need a microplane. About 1 clove of garlic. Let's do a little bit more. But this just melts it right into the aioli, so you don't have to chop anything up. That's good. And a little salt. And that's it. All right, let's stir this up. Ooh. This is much cooler than just a marinara sauce or a plain garlic aioli. All right, let's give this a taste. Mmm. She's got a kick. Woo! Those are really spicy peppers. Oh, it says extra hot on them. That's how they get you. I didn't read that part. I want to thin it out a little bit. I'm going to cut open the orange and squeeze a little orange juice in there. Just to sweeten it up and cut that fucking heat, bitch. It tastes like the devil's jizz. Oh my God. That's all it needed. A little orange juice. Okay, now it's time to plate. Let's get our aioli in our little ramekin. We're going to put our crispy calamari and chili peppers on our plate. This is so crunchy. I guess because we put those baking powder and the cornstarch in there, it keeps it really crunchy. That's the trick of getting it instead of just regular flour. I didn't know why we used it, but then I figured out quickly that whatever the mixture we did made it crispy like this. Maybe a couple lemon wedges, just because, lemon and calamari go well together, and it adds some brightness to the plate. This is gonna be so impressive for your guests, because who makes fried calamari at home? We do. Look how delicious. Crispy fried calamari and chili peppers with Calamari and chili and orange aioli. Okay guys, you wanna eat these when they're right away, when they're piping hot, crispy, and ready to go. So let's give it a try. I'm gonna try one of the rings first. I mean, right away, the texture of this, it is crisp. A little of that aioli. Can you hear it crunch? Guys, it is perfect. I was scared of the fact that I thought it tastes like shit. I always felt like you can only have this in a restaurant. I feel like I am so impressed with myself that it tastes exactly like the restaurant. It's crisp, it's crunchy, it's salty. Spicy. I'm gonna try tentacle next. They're my favorite. So impressive, so easy, and delicious. Fire up the boat, bitch. We're headed to the coast with our coastal Kiki cuisine. Everything looks delicious. We have our decadent lobster rolls with our fresh Maine lobster, Boston lettuce, and toasted New England buns, crispy calamari and Calabrian chilies, and a Calabrian chili aioli with a l'orange zest, and our heirloom tomato, San Marzano tomatoes that we have here in our martinis. Everything looks beautiful. And I didn't even plan the color of the martinis to match the lobsters, but that's how we do here at Kiki Cuisine. This is perfect for any summer get-together you're having. It is quick, easy, decadent, and it's gonna impress everyone, and definitely a Kiki. So thank you for joining me on my coastal Kiki Cuisine. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me. Love you, girls. See you next time. Bye, bitch.